Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50 and Led Zeppelin with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be hot, hazy, and humid again today and tomorrow. High of 95 both days. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield.
Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So, from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Let's see. Rapper Azealia Banks. You know who this person is?
No.
She is she's a Trump supporter, and she may have just presented the absolute worst take on a situation for the Epstein thing that will probably ever exist. In a tweet that she didn't delete for a full day, Banks said that if Trump was having relations with girls, it's no big deal because that was really only made social taboo in the 1990s.
Really?
As if it was accepted.
Probably more like the 1790s.
Yeah. She added that her grandmother had her first child when she was 12, and teen pregnancy only became frowned upon because of the Jerry Springer show.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Well, you might want to go back to the history books on that one.
I don't even know who this is. Azealia Banks.
It doesn't matter. She's just discredited herself in two different statements.
Hey, good for you for going on Twitter, showing everybody how you really tell us how you really feel about it. Wow. Everyone's trying to go viral with their crazy popcorn buckets, but the latest one went a step further by setting an actual Guinness World Record. Marvel Studios recently unveiled its Fantastic Four popcorn bucket. It's shaped like the head of the movie's villain, Galactus, and it is huge. But the space to hold popcorn is only a cup, so
it still costs $30.
It's 20 inches wide and 17 inches high, and it holds 341 ounces. That makes it the world's largest commercially available popcorn bucket.
And how much would that cost you?
And the eyes light up. It only costs $80. And it sold out immediately in theaters around the country. You can still order it at the AMC Theater Shop, but it doesn't ship out until early December.
Who's saving these things?
Well,
I mean, who's really collecting popcorn buckets?
I have one from a Taylor Swift movie from 2 years ago.
And you haven't thrown it away yet?
It's clean. It's a clean bucket.
I'm sure it's spotless.
It was plastic.
But you got a bucket.
It's plastic.
And what do you do with it?
It's like a conversation piece in my house.
Yeah, everyone says, why do you still have that in your house?
Why did you spend that?
Why did you bring that home?
Because why did you bring your trash home with you? You know?
I usually leave it in the receptacles outside the theater.
Let's see. Ozzy news. The biographer who wrote the 2023 Ozzy Osbourne biography, Ozzy at 75, the unofficial illustrated history, has a few things to say to Sharon's haters. Is she getting hate?
There are some people that are not thrilled with her.
His name is Daniel Buckspan, and he's aware that some heavy metal fans see her as the evil shrew and puppet master who controlled Ozzy. Quote, the truth of it is she met him after he had been fired from Black Sabbath. He was borderline homeless, and due to her ability to corral him and direct him and that sort of thing, she made him one of the biggest stars in the world. I believe she kept him alive the whole time. Daniel clarified it's no secret that Sharon has been known to be unpleasant at times. I just think I think the way she's being characterized is wrong, and the fact that he made it to 76, I give all the credit to her. She kept him going and put up with a lot of stuff you wouldn't put up with for a minute in your own marriage, but she took her vows seriously and stood by him. If it was just about business, she would have stopped a long time ago.
Listen, she's devoted to the guy.
Yeah. Has
been forever. And without her, who knows what would have happened to his career? Probably nothing.
In the Osbournes, there's a moment in season 4 #1 fan, where a 25-year-old goes $20,100 into debt to donate to charity to spend the day with Sharon. And then Sharon learns of this. She decides to give the girl $10,000 back. That's not an evil shrewd, but...
No, but still.
You get half off the hanging out for the day with Sharon Osbourne.
I don't know why you'd really want that, but okay, sure.
Well, there's a lot of experiences people would pay for. Do you think anybody would pay to hang out with us for the day? No.
No, I mean, not good money.
No, but wouldn't you like to get to a level like that where somebody would spend $5,000, just $5,000, just to spend the day with you?
You know, on paper,
yeah,
that sounds okay. The reality is you'd still have to spend a whole day with somebody that you may or may not care to spend the whole day with.
Yeah.
So I would pass.
Tom Cruise attended Sunday's Oasis show at Wembley Stadium with his alleged girlfriend, Ana de Armas. That's kind of surprising considering they publicly trashed him 18 years ago. In the 2007 tour documentary, Lord Don't Slow Me Down, the Gallaghers made their feelings about Cruise known for some reason. Noel said he's a little effer and he's not been in one good film his entire career.
Oh, but you know what? The Gallagher brothers hate everybody.
And Liam agreed, saying he hates Cruise and calling him a bastard. Rumor has it Cruise ran into Liam at a hotel in 2009 and they had a polite conversation, so everything must be forgiven. Speaking of Oasis, the other Gallagher brother, Paul, was arrested for rape, intentional strangulation, and other violent crimes. He's listed as the tour DJ for the Oasis reunion tour. He probably won't be doing that, though.
Probably not. And he's the quiet brother.
The very quiet brother.
Those are the ones you apparently have to watch out for.
That's the one you got to watch out for. Happy Gilmore 2 came out last Friday. Did you see it?
No.
If you haven't seen it, you might be wondering how it stacks up against Adam Sandler's other movies. Because I'm sure you're wondering that. Rolling Stone ranked his movies from best to worst. Here's the top 20. #1, Billy Madison. #2, Happy Gilmore. 3, Uncut Gems. Punch Drunk Love, The Wedding Singer, The Waterboy.
And then everything else.
50 First Dates, The Meyerowitz Story. What's The Meyerowitz Stories? I never saw that one.
I don't know.
And Mr. 8 Crazy Nights comes in last.
That's too bad. That's I always thought that was his best one.
Oh, Shakes the Clown. I forgot about that movie. You ever see that one?
I think I did see that.
And you didn't care for it, did you?
There have been a lot of regrettable choices in his movie career, but they all make money. That's the thing. They all make money.
Speaking of regrettable choices, Kim Kardashian, according to The Hollywood Reporter, is being considered for a major role in an upcoming reboot of Baywatch, with her producers saying her global appeal and iconic silhouette would bring new life to the franchise.
Well, she must have had something to say.
Oh my God, the last time someone tried to rescue me on a beach, Ray J was mouth-to-mouthing my clam hammer while using his flashlight to search for pearls in the deep snack trench in that sex tape you could purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
Caitlin?
Well, I never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but she once gave me the double lifeguard tug while humming the Jaws theme and asking if I had a flotation device. She looked like she was doing CPR in a kielbasa wrapped in a fruit roll-up.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is when I finally released the Kraken, it was like someone squeezed a jelly donut full of horchata and broken promises. You know what it reminded me of?
No, what it remind you of?
The time we accidentally got locked in Gary Busey's panic room with 2 gallons of tanning oil and a waterproof Bluetooth speaker, blasting Kenny Loggins.
Did you talk about the buttered sausage?
There's lots of... Whatever happened to Gary Busey anyway?
I don't know.
Is he eating buttered sausage?
I don't know. That's not his jam.
And that is your Hollywood... No, the jam is from the jelly donut full of horchata and broken promises. Did you forget about that already?
He buys honey and kisses it on the lips.
And that's your Hollywood trash on Rock 102. Ugh.
Pro Contractors.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'll be honest with you. If the current chairman of the FCC were to walk through this door right now, several things would happen. One, I would ask to see his credentials, since I wouldn't recognize the FCC chairman even if he were wearing a name tag. Secondly, I would likely soil myself and then profusely apologize for not recognizing who the hell he is. By the way, the current FCC commissioner is Brendan Carr, and the only reason I know this is because I had to look it up. One thing I would not do is to begin berating him with a barrage of license-threatening profanities or physical threats. I think this is a reasonable thing to do. However, if Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred were to walk through the door, I'd be sure to give that man a piece of my mind. And I would do this primarily because he is not in charge of the regulating body that oversees what I do for a living. But if I were a baseball player, I might think differently. Last week, Commissioner Rob Manfred made a random site visit to the Philadelphia Phillies clubhouse to improve the relationship between Major League Baseball and its players. Unfortunately, this effort backfired, especially when Phillies first baseman Bryce Harper told the commissioner that if he were going to go in there and start talking about imposing a salary cap, then he should, quote, get the F out of this clubhouse. Now, if I were to make those same overtures to the FCC Commissioner Brandon Carr, it is very likely that the 2,238 days I have before I plan to retire could be greatly accelerated to that very day. But when you're Bryce Harper and you're protected by one of the most powerful unions in sports, then I suppose you could tell Rob Manfred to get the F out of your clubhouse or anywhere else for that matter. Meanwhile, I would offer the FCC commissioner a cup of coffee, maybe a bag of Doritos from our snack machine. I might even sit up with a Bax and Nagle t-shirt. But one thing I'm not going to do is kick the man out of the building because I'm a professional without union representation to save me from myself and my own stupid actions. And perhaps that's for the best. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know who loves the Wild and Strong brand habanero bird food? Cardinals and chickadees and all kinds of birds. You know who can't stand that stuff? Squirrels. Songbirds can't taste the hot pepper, but man, can those squirrels ever taste it. And they don't like it. You can buy it now, $6 a bag, habanero and other assorted flavors with the Wild and Strong bird food at Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
102 Springfield's Classic Rock at 6:13 in the Rolling Stones. You know, I got a buddy.
I got a buddy.
A great story about that song.
I don't know if that's a great story or not.
Yeah, probably
it's a
not.
story.
It's got a beginning and an end and a lot of stuff in the middle, and other than that, a lot of sorrow.
Well, the sorrow continues. It is going to be hot, hazy, and humid with a heat advisory in effect today and tomorrow. High of 95. It is 69 giggity in downtown Springfield.
Later on this morning, we're going to talk to attorney Jennifer O'Brien. She is from the O'Brien Law Office in Billerica. Bar advocates across the state are at a work stoppage and have been for over 45 days because of the pay issues that they have been facing for years.
Yeah.
It's remarkable how low they're getting paid as compared to other states. And bar advocates take care of almost 80% of indigent clients that can't pay for their own legal services. Public defenders take care of the other 20%. So we'll talk to Jennifer O'Brien because they want to get this done and quick.
Giddy up, right?
Yes.
That's what we will do.
We will do that.
How do you feel about current age restrictions for things like driving and drinking and voting and seeing R-rated movies?
Well, thankfully, I'm old enough for all of them.
Yeah, I know, but what about the young crowd? Do you feel like these age restrictions are appropriate?
Oh, that's a tough question because when I see like a 16-year-old kid driving a car, and like speeding or being stupid behind a wheel, there's a part of me that says, man, they really should be 18 before they do that. And then there's a part of me saying, boy, if I were 16, I'd be pretty pissed if that changed.
Yeah, well, that you're not alone. A new poll looked at a new survey.
Survey said
Looked at the age requirements of various things and found that a majority of Americans would raise the driving age above 16. 52% of Americans say you should have to be older than 16 to be allowed to drive, and the age group that agrees the most is 18 to 29-year-olds. 58% of them say 16 is too young to drive, which is odd. Because you'd think that being that age, you would be like, no, I want my license when I turn 16 years old.
Yeah, although a lot of kids that age are waiting to get their driver's license.
I don't understand that at all.
I can't say I do either. I wanted my driver's license when I was 12.
I have a nephew who just got his at the age of 23.
It's not that it seems crazy, but it's not that unusual anymore.
But the other, you know what else is not unusual?
What?
To be loved by anyone.
You bring up a good point.
Yeah. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone.
That's true too.
But the reason for that was because they lived in a metro area. So transportation was very accessible. That doesn't work around here.
So did the kid have like a state ID or something?
Yeah, that's what it was, an official state ID, and never went and took never did any of that stuff until he was like 20. Started driving a car and getting his learner's permit. I think that's a little like old to get a license, you know.
Yeah, and especially since, you need some time, on the road to know how to drive properly. I mean, I can understand the argument against 16.
Yeah.
18 seems to be maybe slightly more reasonable.
But it's also kind of like it depends on where you are in the country too. In New York State, it used to be this way anyway. I haven't read the New York State laws in a long time, but I was able to get my permit at 15 years old. But if you lived in certain counties in New York, like towards the metro areas like New York City, you had to wait until you were 16 or 18 or whatever it was to get, because of the volume of traffic. If you're in upstate New York where the traffic is fewer and farther than in between than it would be in the New York City metro area, then a lot of people, like kids working on farms and stuff like that, so they need to be able to drive a vehicle. So it's kind of, I think it's one of those things that, it's not a panacea for one age, because I think that you still need those discrepancies, or not discrepancies, but you know what I mean, adjustments in the law for people who live in rural areas versus city areas.
But when your kids finally turn 16 and they're not that far away, it's strange, because if you look at your kids, you'll say, "Oh, my kids seem to be reasonably mature enough to drive a car at the age of 16." But then when you really look at your kids at the age of 16, and you've been telling them for like 3 weeks to empty the trash, and you wonder, is this kid really capable and responsible enough to drive a car?
And I get that argument about it, but we did it. We went and got our license.
But that was a simple time, Steve.
Was it really though? It wasn't. It's
simpler than it is today.
It's only a simple time because now you're older, and now you're like, wait a minute, that was a bad idea. But it's been going on since they started giving out licenses. 16 years old. That's the average age of somebody who goes and gets their permit done.
Yeah. But it's like, the same argument has been made for years about like the drinking age.
Well, and that's tied into this as well. Not surprisingly, by the way, boomers were the least likely to want a maximum driving age. Because they were talking about the maximum driving age. 80 would be the cutoff.
80?
Yeah. That's a little high.
How are they supposed to get their medicines?
I don't know. You should have to go back for a test, though.
Oh, yeah. No, you definitely do.
But they don't do that. If you let's say you're 70 years old, you go and you go renew your license. You pass some sort of cognitive test or something to make sure you can do it. But who knows what's going to happen to you in 2 years?
Well, I mean that is true.
I mean, I've seen people, elderly people, all of a sudden develop dementia and things like that you can't control. So, I don't know. I think that should be like an assessed thing based on your ability to drive.
Well, I mean, people's licenses do expire, as they get older. But there should be. I mean, you're right. I mean, it's more than just a visual test that you should have to take. Yeah. Maybe a cognitive test, a simple one. Like, how many fingers am I holding up? Now, how many fingers am I holding up? And they could say the same number?
You're not holding up any fingers.
Let's see, there you go. You passed.
I did.
Congratulations. You can drive here in the state of Massachusetts.
I should be able to. Americans are divided over the drinking age. 47% say it's cool as is at 21. 41% think it should be younger than 21 or no minimum, and 12% of people say it should be older than 21. Interestingly, 18 to 29-year-olds were much more likely to say it should be younger than 21 and younger than 21 and older than 21.
See, I'm fine with it being 21.
Yeah.
But I remember back when I went to college, the state of Wisconsin was in like a grandfather phase. So the legal drinking age had then turned 19 on its way to 21. It had been 18. They moved it to 19. And then by the time you got to 21, well, then it was fine. And I made it to 19. Well, I got to tell you, though, that 1 year between 18 and 19.
You were sweating.
No, I used a fake ID like everybody else.
Oh, well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and that's the way it'll continue.
But around 10% of Americans think people should be older than 21 before they can get married, watch pornography, and gamble legally.
Gambling, sure. Married, perhaps. But porn? As long as your dad's got a Playboy in a sock drawer, there's always a chance.
But then, here comes the argument now of you feel that way, but what about like the selective service thing and being able to go fight for your country and yada 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 yada? That's an old argument. If you're old enough to go sacrifice your life for your country, you're old enough to drink a beer or smoke cigarettes or what? Well, you can, I guess, at 18 in most places.
Yeah,
but I don't know. How do you rectify that one?
I don't know, Steve. I mean, 18 seems to be this belief that that's adulthood, and I suppose, legally that's true, but I mean, I don't think you really start making good decisions in your life until you're at least
all right
45.
Forget about like the sin stuff. What about like working? How old should you have to be in order to use a piece of equipment like a heavy, like you can't use a meat slicer until you're 18 years old?
Is that true?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Well, if you could use a meat slicer, you should be able to drive a car. You can drive a car and smoke cigarettes.
You should be able to drink a beer and smoke a cigarette and a joint and throw your wrappers out the window like everybody else does.
I'll tell you what, if I were 16 years old, I'd almost want a meat slicer in the car.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's one of those, like, are you ready yet kind of thing. Some kids are more mature than other kids.
That's actually that's actually true. I mean, there are some kids that are, who are more mature beyond their age, but they are still kids. I mean, there's still maybe some emotional delays or whatever. But I mean, you have to pick an age, and 18 seems to be something that most of us can live with.
Yeah,
which is and have for a while. I don't know the right answer. I mean, there's no way to say, well, what is the right age? 18 has always been that marker that says you're an adult. But if you ever talk to an 18-year-old and you wonder, should this kid be making these kinds of decisions for themselves?
But again, it's all dependent on their maturity level,
right,
too. So I don't know. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. What if we lowered the voting age to 16, but men only? These women making decisions left and right. I mean, that's kind of
you go with that one, Steve.
Yeah,
good luck.
I was like, things need to change in this country. That's what needs to happen. No more women voters.
Look what this country has become as a result.
Yeah,
it's 6:25 in Rock 102. It's 6:27 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Liam has the full forecast for you.
Rock 102 presents the Classic Rock Summer now through Labor Day weekend. You listen to Rock 102 all summer long for your details on how to grab your share of the summer stash of prizes, like the $25 gift cards we've been giving out to the Store and Tavern every weekday through Labor Day. If you want to win, you go to rock102.com, and then you endure the Pat Kelly Show every weekday afternoon. It's the Classic Rock Summer brought to you by the Leah Auto Group, only on Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
Are you ready to laugh?
I am.
Let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
On Rock 102.
I make you laugh?
Springfield's Classic Rock.
All right. The only cow in a small town in Poland stopped giving milk. right?
Okay.
And the people did some research and found that they could buy a cow from Moscow for 2,000 rubles or one from Minsk for 1,000 rubles. Being frugal, they bought the cow from Minsk, right? And the cow was wonderful. It produced lots of milk, and the people were so happy they decided to acquire a bull to mate with that cow. So produce more cows, like that.
Sure.
Right? So they would never have to worry about the milk supply ever again. So they bought a bull and they put it in the pasture with their beloved cow. Now, whatever the bull came close to the cow would move away. So no matter what the approach the bull tried, and the cow didn't want anything to do it, right? So the people were upset and decided to ask their wise rabbi for his advice. And they told the rabbi what had been happening. Whenever the bull approaches our cow, she moves away, they said. If he approaches from the backside, she moves forward. When she approaches her from the front, she backs off. And an approach from the side, she just walks away to the other side. And the rabbi thinks about the problem for a minute and says, Did you buy this cow from Minsk? And the people were amazed because they never mentioned where they bought the cow.
Right.
He's like, you're truly a wise rabbi. How did you know we got the cow from Minsk? And the rabbi said, my wife is from Minsk. She also moves away whenever he approaches her. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 1.
6:33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Yankee Home Improvement. All this month, get 50% off installation on your bathroom or window project with 0 down and 0 interest. Call now, mention Rock 102, get an additional $750 off through July 31st. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A man in Hadley died after being struck by 2 motor vehicles Sunday night. According to the Northwestern DA's office, the crash took place in the area of 73 Russell Street. Shortly after 9 p.m. on Sunday, officers with the Hadley Police Department found a pedestrian injured after being struck by 2 cars. The victim, identified as an 82-year-old man from Hadley, died from his injuries. The crash is being investigated by the Hadley Police as well as the Mass State Police, Crime Scene Services Section, and Collision Analysis Reconstruction Section. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner will determine the cause of death. The name of the victim has not been released at this time. Following Friday's shooting at the Holyoke Mall, a juvenile is in custody and recovering from a gunshot wound. The Holyoke Mall is back open for normal business. It was the next day.
Following day.
Just a day after the juvenile was caught shoplifting and carrying a gun, Holyoke police said that just after 4:30 p.m. Friday, a mall security guard spotted the juvenile shoplifting. Security then contacted officers at the mall who approached the suspect near round 1. That's when officers say the juvenile pulled out a gun. The suspect and officers both exchanged fire. However, an investigation is underway. Holyoke Mayor Josh Garcia spoke out about the incident Friday evening, and then locals said they plan to return the mall, while others said they would like to see more security. And then one guy's like, the mall's going to take a hit, especially the businesses. They're going to lose money because people are not going to want to go there. But you went there Sunday.
I went there Sunday. There was no problem. No problems at all.
You have to assess where your level of danger is. You have to, and you have to take the incident for what it is. This isn't somebody who just randomly went into the mall and started bang, bang, shooting up the place. This was somebody who was shoplifting, had a weapon on them, pulled the weapon on the police, and he's kind of lucky he's not dead because, being shot in the leg, I'm sure is no picnic, but it's a lot better than somebody,
It's like we talked. It's like we talked about yesterday. If you play the numbers, there have been 2 shooting incidents at the Holyoke Mall in the last 3 years. It's not like this thing is happening every single day. It's not even happening every month. It's not even happening every year. The likelihood of you being in the mall on a really bad day is actually quite small. You can go there and shop safely. So when someone says, oh, that's really going to hurt the businesses, well, it may hurt the business as far as your patronage goes, but if I got to go buy something and Macy's is the only place I'm going to get it, guess where I'm going? I'm going to Macy's in the mall.
That's right. And if you want your nefarious activities, you can go into the Macy's bathroom.
Right.
In the men's room.
Well, you can do that. You can do that too.
No activities. No nefarious activities.
Right.
In the bathroom at the Macy's.
Exactly.
Why do they got to ruin all the fun? See, that's the fun part they ruined.
Yeah, I don't know why public restrooms are such a hotbed of activity. I know when I go to a public restroom, I really only have a couple of choices of things I do.
That's right. Anyway, the Holyoke Mall released a statement yesterday. The safety and well-being of our guests, tenants, and employees remain our highest priority at the mall. We're committed to providing a secure and welcoming environment, and we continue to take proactive steps to strengthen safety protocols throughout the property. In close collaboration with law enforcement, these measures are continually reviewed and enhanced to meet evolving safety needs, including our parental escort policy, which has been in place for several years. Okay, but a kid walking into a mall with a gun probably doesn't have parents that are wanting to go hang out with him for the afternoon.
No.
I'm making a sweeping generalization when I say that.
But there are some youth that will have a gun on them and write the word daddy on it, too. So take that for what it's worth.
Which wallet is yours? It's the one that says bad mother effer on it.
See, there's my parental guidance in effect.
Yeah, it's my wallet that says bad mother effer. The Hampton DA's office will also be releasing additional details of the incident, and residents say they will not let fear win. Do not be afraid, said a person from Holyoke. No one is guaranteed tomorrow. You just can't live your life like that. Yeah, she's right.
Absolutely right. Like let's put it this way: if you need to buy shampoo and a set of drawers, then you go to Target. You should feel safe. Mm-hmm. You need to buy like a Nirvana T-shirt. You should be able to go to Hot Topic without batting an eye. You need to get yourself a new charger. Go to the Apple Store without you feeling threatened at all. If you need like a cup full of hot buttered pretzels, you should be able to go right there and have no fear that there will be reprisals of any sort.
Fearless. New details were released on Monday about the plans to replace all 18 Massachusetts Department of Transportation highway service plazas. Ireland-based company Applegreen plans to spend $750 million to modernize and maintain the plazas, most are which are along the Mass Pike, and construction is set to begin early next year, with construction work set to support approximately 750 jobs. These are they're talking about the rest areas.
Yeah.
When I first saw the headline, I thought it was the maintenance facilities, but they're talking about the actual, plazas on the highway.
Are they really in that great of disrepair?
I don't know. They did it in New York State. When I went up there for 4th of July, I've noticed, because I haven't been up that way in a while, and I knew they were under construction a while ago, but then now they're all modernized. They're like brand new, like futuristic looking buildings. I don't know. I mean, I guess you have to upgrade something to maintain it. I mean, you get thousands of people going there every day.
Yeah, but I mean, I was at the Charlton rest area just the other day. Had to use the restroom over there. I didn't think it was unsightly or breaking down. Of course, we work in this building.
Yeah.
So who are we to judge?
Well, here's the thing that I know this place is a dump.
This is the place that needs to be condemned.
This what was I just going to say about that? Plazas, I've stopped at the plazas, coming back from Rhode Island, and any time I go out that way to the state.
Right.
What is up with the perfume kiosks? They're selling perfume, like high-end perfume, at the service plaza. And that's like the only commodity they're selling. It's not like there's malls. It's not like like a little mini mall inside the service plaza. It's mostly food and a convenience store. But then you have this kiosk of high-end perfumes how profitable is that?
Well, I don't know how profitable it is, but I got to believe that there are some people driving from, say, one end of the state to the other, and by the time they get to where they need to go, they're a little bit funky.
Okay.
And could use some cologne or toilet water.
Why can't you sell the Dove spray over at the convenience store? What is it about It's a small little kiosk, but it has very high-end perfume. It's expensive.
You never drove the Mass Pike wishing you smelled more like a Drakkar Noir?
No, I'm more of a Stetson man.
Ooh, Stetson.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Or Brute.
Remember the old days in the men's room?
Yeah.
Where they had like the coin operated your cologne machine?
Oh yeah.
You put like 50 cents in, you press the button, all of a sudden you're smelling like High Karate or Aqua Velva Blue.
Some of those chicks go for that.
They sure do.
Yeah. That's the one you want. That's the one you can bag and take home with you.
I smell like High Karate, and I just got myself some condoms.
Yeah, like you're
out of the bathroom.
Like you're squirrel hunting. I'm bagging squirrels tonight.
I've already been collecting nuts.
Oh. Yeah, I don't see the need for a high-end perfume kiosk on a Mass Pike.
No, but I mean, you got the bathroom.
Yeah.
You can buy sunglasses, maybe a bag of Doritos.
But again,
all you really
that's
need.
in like the convenience store area. You got that going.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a like a designated shop, like a kiosk. I get it.
All current Service Plaza employees will be offered employment with Apple Green. The company also announced that Chicopee-based Rachel's Food Corporation will be the leading provider of sandwiches for Apple Green's entire travel business plaza. You should have like a good sandwich place making. I mean, I'm sure Rachel's is fine, but it's like a mass-produced thing. Why don't we hire a place like Richard's Grinders or something to start making the sandwiches?
Well, because it would take too long to make sandwiches, on demand like that.
Well,
you almost have to pre-make the sandwiches and then hand them out that way because people come in and out all the time.
Well, how does Rachel feel about making all this extra work?
I don't know. I'm sure she's ready to get busy.
Who is this Rachel anyway?
I don't know, but I hear she's nice.
6 men from Belchertown climbed to the top of the famous mountain in Tanzania, Africa. The group of father and son duos reached the summit of the nearly 20,000-foot Mount Kilimanjaro after a 6-day hike. Yeah, but Mount Tom is more impressive. Among the 6 hikers are Dave and Cameron Burnham, Jeff and Ryan Gould, and Ken Riley, who all live in Belchertown. There's also Ben Myron, a former Belchertown resident now residing in Florida. Due to the high elevations, each had to take medication ahead of the hike to prevent symptoms like nausea. The hike is all thanks to the support of a tour group called Climb Kili, made up of 24 people, which helped to set up tents, provide meals, and more each day. So all they had to do was focus on hiking. I'm not offering any criticism, but I kind of am.
Okay.
Because I was just watching this thing the other day about Mount Everest, right?
Sure.
And how it has become such a touristy type of thing. Remember when people used to climb Mount Everest and it was like, oh my God, that guy climbed Mount Everest, and doing it the old-fashioned way.
Sure.
Now there are tour guides and basically a bunch of rich people who all they have to do is follow these people up to the I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I just can't remember the name of the native people that are there that are doing these tours. They're taking them up to the top of the
right.
mountain, but they provide everything for them. There's no more. It's not like a survival type of instinct thing. It's basically, hey, I got my dad's money, and I just paid thousands of dollars for this guy to take me up to the top so I can say I was at the top. The problem, what?
I was going to say, what's a gift shop look like over there?
Oh, this is where I'm going with it. I'm looking at these videos of these people climbing Mount Everest, and the trash they're leaving. It's disgusting. It was this trail of trash all the way and they leave their tents there. Like they're just abandoning tents.
Steve, they used to leave the dead up on that mountain too. The people that didn't survive the hike.
Okay, but I mean that's more understandable than leaving all of your stuff behind. Like you're not really accomplishing anything if you're paying somebody all this money to do it for you and you're not even taking the stuff away with you when you leave.
Well, I'm not sure every hiker that goes up Everest remembers to bring like a trash bag with them. Because you're not going to go, oh, my God, I forgot the trash bag back in the car. Could you go back down and come back up with a trash bag for us?
Yeah, can you get that hefty bag?
You're not going to do that.
Or a Glad bag? Which one is better, Glad or hefty?
I don't know. I've never actually done a side-by-side
What about
comparison.
the hefty cinch sack? That's what I'm talking about.
You know, we had a guy here who works in the building who had just hiked up Mount Washington.
Yeah.
And he posted pictures on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I wrote, dude, you know you can bring your car, right? They'll let you drive your car right up
Yes,
Mount
but
Washington.
he wanted to walk.
Yeah, but yeah, it's so much easier to drive there. And you get the bumper sticker when you leave.
Well, I told him to put that bumper sticker on his ass.
Which he is the kind of guy who would absolutely do.
This caboose climbed Mount Washington. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today, it's going to be hot, hazy, and humid with a heat advisory in effect until Thursday. 95 for a high today and tomorrow. It is 70 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
The Rock.
651 with Bax and Nagle and Rock 102.
Yeah, I just gave you the forecast. It's going to be hot out there today.
Steve and the road crew this Saturday are going to be at the new Tractor Supply in Ware, the grand opening from 10 until noon. Find your favorite brands at Tractor Supply, plus seasonal supplies like propane grills, riding mowers, log splitters. I like a good log splitter. Whether it's caring for a few acres, growing a backyard garden, or training a new puppy, you'll find great deals every day on the supplies you need every season. And while you're there, say hi to Steve. You might just get something for it and win yourself a nice prize. That's Saturday noon to 10 to noon, Tractor Supply, 256 West Street in Ware with Steve and the road crew. Part of the Classic Rock Summer on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
This is not the meat out of the back of the truck event. That was just specifically for the Tractor Supply in Southwick over the weekend. So there will be no meat being sold from the back of a truck. Sorry to disappoint you.
Yeah, no, the meat guys are just there because they needed a place to pull meat out of the back of their car. But here, you actually can go into the store and get great merchandise at a reasonable price.
Get horse warmer. You can get saddle soap. You can get feed. You can get all kinds of good stuff at your local Tractor Supply.
Can I get myself a good bucket of bag bomb?
Oh, you can get a bag bomb. You want your bag bombed?
I wouldn't mind my bag bombed.
Yeah, I want my bomb bagged is what I want.
Well, that's personal.
By the way, lots of people came out for that event over the weekend at the Tractor Supply in Southwick.
Out of curiosity or out of necessity?
Stocking up on meat. Who doesn't want to stock up on meat in a parking lot? You got to expand your horizons, Bax.
No, listen, I'm not here to judge.
But the grounds crew from St. Anne's Country Club over at Agawam.
Mm-hmm.
Big shout out to them. They listen to us every morning.
Do they really?
Yeah, while they're out cleaning the greens and doing all that, washing their balls out there.
Now, were they there for the Tractor Supply or were they there for the meat out of the truck?
Both. You might as well kill two birds with one stone. You can get a garden gnome and a ribeye. Where else can you do that?
But you don't just get one ribeye. You get 20 for $39.
That's right. So quit your complaining. You're getting a good deal.
And I'm sure they're delicious ribeyes, too.
So I'll be out. I'll be doing that this weekend.
It's like a tour of Tractor Supplies with you. That's pretty exciting.
It's Steve Nagle's Tractor Supply Tour of 2025.
That's exactly what it is. How many more of these you doing?
I don't know. As many as they want me to do.
Oh, you go to all of them.
Yeah, it's like having a residency in Madison Square Garden, except this is all the Tractor Supplies in Western Massachusetts. I'll be standing out there with my like an American Gothic by myself, with a pitchfork.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There was something else I was going to say. Oh, Friday night. I'm going to the world's largest toilet.
Where?
Fenway Park.
Fenway Park.
Yeah.
What are you doing at Fenway? Red Sox game?
Going to see a game. I got some friends of mine. We're gonna old buddies of mine. We're gonna go watch a Red Sox game.
See, you have no appreciation for the shrine that building is. That's your problem.
Yes,
you don't like nice things.
Well, listen, I have a choice.
And that is?
Going to Boston to Fenway Park or taking a dip in the Connecticut River. Either one, it's loaded with crap. And the Connecticut River is a lot closer.
Really?
So I don't know, should I really bother paying $90 to park somewhere for the day when I could just freely park down on Columbus Avenue? And
it was a tough call.
Yeah.
I imagine you're really divided which one you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because my friends want to see Fenway Park.
Your friends?
Yeah.
Are they from out of town?
Yeah, they're from New York.
I
see.
see.
They want to see what Fenway Park looks like.
And they've already seen what a bad neighborhood Yankee Stadium's in.
Yeah.
They want to see what's going on at Fenway.
Right. And I was trying to tell them, listen, just stop in like any rest stop along the thruway, and that porcelain thing that says American Standard on it, that's what Fenway Park looks like.
You have absolutely no appreciation for the history and splendor of that amazing shrine.
It's time to knock that down.
No,
Yes.
it is time to make to bolster it, to make sure it never falls apart.
Listen, there are things that need to be replaced, and I believe that is a ballpark that is one of them that needs to just be demolished.
No, absolutely
and
not.
then put up you can build it. You can build it the same exact way.
I've seen like the new ballparks, and most of them just don't have the same character and a sense of awe. Like when you walk up and you see the field, you see the green monster, and you get all that.
And you go, oh.
No, it's like, oh, that's how it's not. It's not like, oh, that's not. That's not what I'm
it's like
talking
that.
about.
It's like, oh, what a horrible choice I made coming here today.
No, it's got the same kind of mystique as a Wrigley or a Tiger Stadium or what have you.
Now go play with your pesky pole. You ever play with your pesky pole at Fenway Park?
I have, and I have no shame in doing that.
I bet you don't.
It's 6:57 Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, we're back in 2017 with the Celtics traded former first-round pick Avery Bradley and a second-round pick to the Detroit Pistons in exchange for Marcus Morris. Boy, I sure do. Since then, Morris played for the Knicks, the Clippers, the Sixers, and the Cavaliers on a 10-day contract. Well, the truth is that Marcus Morris hadn't played in the NBA in more than a year, and by the looks of things, he's probably not going to. Not because he doesn't have the remaining skills he needs to play at that level. Marcus Morris probably won't play due to the pending fraud case he's looking at. According to reports, Marcus Morris was arrested at a South Florida airport on Sunday on fraud charges after he allegedly tried to write bad checks to a casino. Details of the case are still a little unclear. All I can tell you is the casino in question is out of state, he's being held without bond, and is currently awaiting extradition to face these charges. Yesterday, his agent, Yanni Noy, took to his social media and accused the charges of being completely bogus, claiming that no fraud actually exists, despite the fact that Morris allegedly owes $1,200. According to Noy, apparently if you have over $1,200, they can issue a warrant for your arrest. He then goes on to say, damn, for that kind of money, they'll embarrass you at an airport with your family. So, a couple of things. First of all, yes, if you owe $1,200 to a casino, they will find a way to get it back. Secondly, in the old days, if you owed a $1,200 gambling debt, you'd likely have your kneecaps broken with a tire iron. And thirdly, who the hell is still writing checks? You tell me that a guy with an estimated net worth of $18 to $25 million doesn't have Venmo or PayPal, perhaps even a Zelle? And why can't a guy with that kind of cash at his disposal not keep up with the minimum balance on his bank accounts? Hell, I can't even scrape up together $18 to $25 in small bills and loose change, but at least I can pay my bills, whereas Marcus apparently cannot. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Hey, you cooking outdoors? Rocky's is the place to go for gas grills, pellet grills, pizza ovens, smokers, flat top griddles, Komodo grills, charcoal grills, all the gear. What's your outdoor kitchen missing? You'll find it at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. To Springfield's Classic Rock at 7-Eleven and Kansas. with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be hot, hazy, and humid today and tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect until Wednesday night. 95 for a high both days. 70 right now in downtown Springfield. Are you ready for another round of Is Bax the A-hole?
No.
Well, then I guess you're just going to have to sit here and listen to it then.
Well, these aren't about things that I've done.
Well, they could have been.
Well, probably not.
Starting off with, am I the a-hole for telling a guy to shut up during a job interview?
See, I've never done that.
I was interviewing this guy for a very good software engineering position. He passed the first round, and both I and everyone involved in the second round really liked his resume and experience. On paper, he had everything we were looking for, and honestly, this looked like a life-changing opportunity for this man. Then he shows up, very serious, not smiling at all. I'm used to that in tech interviews, and I understand it can be an intimidating environment. We did a round of introductions, and then he opened the interview by saying, "Let me tell you a little bit about myself." We said, "Okay, go for it." He started talking about his personal and professional background. After about 3 minutes, I jumped in and asked a follow-up question based on something he mentioned. He replied, "I will answer, just give me a moment," and continued talking.
Okay.
A coworker jumped in with another question, and he said the same thing to her. At this point, we were kind of looking at each other, but decided to let him continue and give him the benefit of the doubt. But after more than 5 minutes, I jumped in again with another question. I had to talk over him to do it. He finally paused and answered, but in such a long-winded way that he ended up veering into another topic. My coworker asked another question, and the same thing happened. At this point, I was ready to end the interview. I tried to politely wrap it up several times, but he was unable to read the room and just kept talking. I finally raised my voice slightly and said something like, "Thank you very much for sharing your background. In the interest of time, I'd like to ask if you have any questions for us." This is standard protocol.
Sure.
He asked a question about the team. As I was answering, he raised his finger and interrupted to talk more about his background. I let it go. Then he asked another question, which my coworker started to answer, but again, he spoke over her to talk about himself. I tried to once more to interrupt politely, but he kept talking. At that point, I said I was done. I said, "John, you really have to shut up and listen." He was surprised, as my coworker was, but he finally stopped talking. I continued, "You walked into this room with a 99% chance of getting the job. Now that chance is 0. The only reason is because in less than 15 minutes, you've demonstrated that you don't have the capacity to listen at all. So I'm telling you now, you're not getting the job. But if you take anything away from this interview, let this be clear. No matter how good you are technically, if you can't listen, you'll never excel in this business." He apologized and said, "Can we start again?" No, I don't want to hear about you.
Why does this remind me of the scene in Step Brothers where they're in the job interview
Right.
and he says, I'm a very slow learner and I'm not a very good listener.
That's exactly what this guy is doing.
And then and then there's a loud fart at the end of it.
He didn't do that though. I replied, "You had your chance. Best of luck in your future interviews. Make sure you listen." Looking back, I know I could have handled that differently, but I still feel bad for the guy. I don't feel bad for the guy. I mean, if he's going on and on and on, and this is what it's like dating. You know, you're getting. What are you getting into? Are you getting into emotional manipulation right off the bat?
Yeah.
With the hey, you listen to me. I want to tell you about me.
Well, the thing is, when you're in a job interview, you're nervous, right?
Yeah.
You're already nervous, even if you believe the job is yours. And sometimes when people are nervous, they just don't know how to shut up, and they go on and on forever without ever taking a breath, even think about what they're actually saying. They're just sitting there, words pouring out of their mouths as if they just want to hear themselves speak. It's the kind of thing that when you're talking to somebody and they're talking endlessly, you just wonder, well, do they really believe anything they're saying? Or they're just going on and prattling about nonsense just for the sake of filling up time and space and trying to impress somebody with their intellectual capacities. There are some times in some people, I've seen this and I've noticed this many, many times, where they just don't know how to self-edit themselves. They just keep blasting out one nonsense word after another. It's endless. And it's frustrating, especially for someone who's the one asking the questions and waiting for good answers. And sometimes those answers never come, despite your well thought out, heavily crafted questions in that particular setting. Have you ever seen something like that before, Steve?
Is Dave Coombs back? When did that happen?
I'm just saying. I'm just making a point.
Well, it's not a very good one.
I'm not here to provide good points.
I don't know. I think this lady was right in telling the guy to shut up.
I think so, too.
Yeah. Hey, everybody's got to learn a lesson sometime, right? I learned my lesson when I applied here and had an interview. I was regret every moment of saying, yes, I'll work here.
You have no one to blame but yourself.
Number two. Would I be the a-hole for remarrying my ex even though I'm going to die? It's a nice dark one for
boy.
you. Ready?
Okay.
I know this post is morbid and dark, so I apologize for that. I, 36 female, am close to dying. I have terminal cancer, and I only have about a year or two left. I've accepted and made my peace with it, and I don't mind openly talking about it. I also have have a less than common relationship. My current boyfriend / partner, 38, is also my ex-husband. Me and him married right out of high school, stayed together through college, had 3 kids together, 12, 11, and 4. We divorced when our daughter was 3 because of his intense work schedule. It was a lot of heartbreak and pain, but at the time it felt right for both of us despite that. 2 years after the divorce, I was first diagnosed with cancer, and he reduced his work hours so he could take more time with the kids, and it slowly shifted to him also taking care of me, and we rekindled our romance but didn't get remarried. I got lucky the first time around and was declared cancer-free at 31. I had my youngest child at 32 and was re-diagnosed at 34. We tried treatments, but it's been recently declared terminal. Please don't feel sorry for me or throw a pity party. I've gotten to live the life I've wanted, and I'm okay with the fact that I'm most likely going to die before age 40. The only thing that causes me any emotional pain is that I won't see my kids growing up and experience life milestones, like graduating, getting married, and having kids. Long backstory, but here's the problem. My partner and I have discussed it. We want to remarry each other. I want him to be listed as my husband in the obituary. I want him to be able to make medical decisions in case I'm unable to. You can do that without getting married, though. If you just give somebody your health care proxy, isn't that...
well, unless there are...
survivor benefits,
as a result of it.
My 38-year-old sister says it's cruel to remarry him knowing I'm going to die soon, and if I loved him, I wouldn't have divorced him in the first place, and that by remarrying him, I'm disrespecting the sanctity of marriage by doing a willy-nilly. She also said I probably used my diagnosis the first time around to get his pity love so he'd get back with me, since it resolved the main issue from our divorce. The sister is the one that sounds like the a-hole. So I was wondering if it's really bad for me to remarry my ex. I love this man. We both regretted our divorce, and we're so grateful that life brought us back together. But now that I'm close to death, we want our love to be legally recognized. Then just get married.
Then take care of it. And you know,
I don't have much time left. I don't think it makes you a decision.
I don't think it makes you an a-hole. I mean, because he has the ability to say no too, and it's not like you're demanding to get married or demanding to get back with this guy. I mean, clearly he wants to be with you, or unless you're not telling him you're dying, that would be an act of cruelty. That would be you being an a-hole, but you're being upfront with this guy. So, no, I don't think that's you being an a-hole at all.
You think you should reveal something like that?
That you're dying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? That's a personal decision. You don't want to share it with anybody. Why should you share it with?
Well, it depends who I'm not going to share it with the world, but I'll if it's an intimate relationship, someone is close to me personally, yeah, I'll share that information.
No, that's the surprise around every corner relationship.
Yeah, I'm not really big on surprises.
See, I would have rather been blindsided than this long drawn out process.
She didn't tell me she was dying.
Yeah. I just thought...
I would have made different decisions in my life.
I just thought she was going to the doctor a lot. I didn't know what happened. And I guess we all know now who the a-hole is.
There you go.
It's morbid humor, folks. You gotta play with it a little bit.
It's 7:21, Rock 102.
wine enthusiast.
102 Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:28, and Alice Cooper with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
Hey, this week on Baxy's Musical Podcast, my guest is drummer Terry Graham from the band The Gun Club. Their 1981's album, Fire of Love, is absolute classic. He was also in a band called The Bags and the Cramps as well. He wrote a book a few years ago called Punk Like Me, Hollywood 1977 to 1985. Also got a brand new podcast that's available on YouTube called Electric Angel Lounge. A really interesting interview. Very, very cool. It's available on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, the Rock 102 YouTube channel, rock102.com, and on the app. It's all brought to you by Metro Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram at Chicopee and Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
A Southern California nonprofit says it rescued about 400 guinea pigs from an L.A. property where they slept outside without enough food and water.
You had one.
I know.
And they had 400?
Yeah, the guinea pigs were taken to at least 6 different shelters across the city.
You had one.
I know.
And it was a lot of work.
And it cost $39 initially, and then the euthanization was $750. It's a good thing these things are being rescued because, that's a lot of money to be shelling out for
$400 for how much was it, you said? $850?
$750.
Nah, $750. Well, yeah, that's a $300,000 thing there, right there.
You're sitting on a gold mine there, Animal Hospital Emergency Vet Services.
We got news coming up next on Rock 102.
Here's your
7:32 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by Freedom Credit Union. Freedom is yours. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A man died in Hadley after being struck by 2 motor vehicles on Sunday night. According to the Northwestern DA's office, the crash took place in the area of 73 Russell Street shortly after 9 p.m. on Sunday. Officers with the Hadley Police Department found a pedestrian injured after being struck by 2 cars. The victim, identified as an 82-year-old man from Hadley, died from his injuries. The crash is being investigated by the Hadley Police as well as the Mass State Police and the Crime Scene Services Section. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner will determine the cause of death. The name has not been released at this time. I'm not clear whether or not this was a hit and run because usually it says if the driver cooperated with police, they stayed at the scene, kind of thing. But what a horrible accident.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of pedestrian accidents.
Yeah, well, hopefully there'll be a little bit more information the next couple of days, but yeah, you're right.
More than a year after a bullied student forced the community to confront racism in the schools, a lawsuit now accuses the Southwick District of allowing racial harassment to persist unchecked. The suit filed Friday in Hampton Superior Court by the Boston-based group Lawyers for Civil Rights claims that the Southwick, Tolland, Granville Regional School District failed to protect a middle schooler from repeated racial harassment by classmates. Identified in court documents as Jane Doe, the student allegedly endured racial bullying during the 23-24 school year, leaving her emotionally distressed and academically behind. Her mother, identified as Janet Doe, accuses the district of ignoring repeated complaints, claiming that its negligence caused her daughter to suffer a personal injury. So all these people named Doe have, many lawsuits across the country.
Yeah, no, that's a name they use to protect someone who should not be identified.
Oh, is that what that's for?
Yeah, it's not like everyone's making fun of the Doe family.
I was going to say the Doe, they're very litigious people.
They can be, but again, they're not all related.
The plaintiffs are seeking monetary damages and additional relief through a jury trial. The district did not respond for requests for comments. The circumstances of the case echo widely publicized incidents of racial harassment in Southwick in 2023 and 2024. Early last year, the family of student Skylar Lopez filed a federal civil rights complaint after her daughter was allegedly targeted at a mock slave auction conducted online by his classmates at Southwick Regional. The incident, which circulated on Snapchat, sparked outrage in the community and led to criminal charges against 6 students and drew condemnation from civil rights advocates, including the NAACP of Springfield. The Mass Department of Elementary and Secondary Education later found that the district failed to properly investigate and respond to multiple racist incidents violating Title IX regulations. The state has since ordered the district to revise its bullying policies and improve its procedure for handling criminal complaints. Let's see. Now that she's beaten the criminal charges against her, Karen Reed wants her cell phone and SUV back.
No, it's about damn time.
Reed, who was acquitted a month ago on murder charges, filed a motion Monday asking a judge to force prosecutors to immediately return her personal cell phone and Lexus SUV. Both had been taken as evidence after the January 2022 death of Reed's boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. The defense motion was filed in Superior Court on Monday. The motion states that Reed's defense attorney, Stephen Boozang.
Boozang.
Huh. Booze. She really likes the booze.
She does.
Tried
like
to negotiate with the assistant district attorney, Adam Lally, about their returning the phone and her 2021 Lexus LX 570 in late June. According to the news station, Reed was acquitted on June 18th of O'Keefe's death at the end of the second murder trial. With Mass State Police in possession of her phone and SUV, Reed and Boozang have not heard back from Lally, prompting them to request the return of her phone and SUV immediately. Her phone and SUV had roles to play during the murder trial, with prosecutors making the case that she used her SUV to strike and kill O'Keefe. Data on her phone was used during that case. She faced charges, including second-degree murder, but she got off with a DUI.
Now, I can understand wanting the car back. First of all, it's a nice car, great reliability.
Those things are like $80,000, yeah.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. But the phone is at least 3 years old, assuming it was a new phone when she got it. Now, is she asking for the phone so that she can get the upgrade with a trade-in? Or because, I mean, a 3-year-old phone, I mean, come on, you don't have a new phone? Have you been without a phone since 2022?
No.
January of 2022? I don't think so.
She just wants to get her old photos off the
Well, maybe that's the case, man. I don't know. Maybe it's
and the scripts for leaving angry voicemails to her boyfriend she just ran over
Right.
with her SUV at 24 miles an hour.
Plus, if you transfer in the cloud when you get the new phone, I mean, all those great texts of you berating your late boyfriend would still be in that phone too.
You know, here's an interesting take on this whole thing. You know, because I'm under the impression that, you know, with the data presented of her SUV backing up at 24 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And then right after that, his phone immediately never used again and then losing temperature until his body was found in the snow, leads me to believe that she may have hit him. You know, that might be an outcome. But even with people presented with that evidence, they don't want to hear it.
Right.
They because there's a couple of different things going on here. There's anger at law enforcement for being so shady, and obviously with the behavior of Michael Proctor and his unprofessional handling of the case. People don't trust the police, so
True.
It's like oh yeah, well, those cops are up to no good kind of thing, But even if you look at that guy's investigation. The investigation doesn't change the facts in the case of what's going on, but it does hinder his testimony because of the way he behaved himself, the way he presented himself.
That may all very well be true, but the jury acquitted her,
right?
Because there was enough reasonable doubt to suggest there may have been potential alternative explanations as to what happened.
Yes, but also because there's no way you didn't hear about the case. There's no way these jurors didn't hear about what was going on.
Sure.
And how do you keep yourself from being, fed information when you go home for the day?
I don't know. Everyone's reading Turtle Boy.
Well, you get your information from whatever sources that you want. That's up to you. But one of the arguments I heard the other day was, even if she is guilty, girl power.
What does that mean?
Well, women have been suppressed so long by men that, good for her for getting up. Even if she is guilty. So you're okay with the fact that somebody would have, be accused of killing somebody.
Yeah.
As long as it fits your narrative of, women are really getting the short end of the stick here.
So if Eileen Wuornos had been acquitted of killing all those dudes,
Yeah.
we'd be sitting here going, "You go, girl.
Well,
Way to go, girlfriend."
I mean, that was part of an argument for Eileen Wuornos. There was a lot of, support for her by groups of people who felt that, she was just fighting back and she was in survival mode. And,
that's the only reason why she's bloodthirsty and killed all those innocent men or not so innocent men.
I found it to be, I don't know, a little...
it's dismissive of the charges against her, really.
Yeah.
Well, listen, everyone's got their opinion, and it's divided, and that's why it's taken twice to acquit her.
Yeah.
Although I really thought it would be another mistrial, to be honest.
Well, look at how many times what's her name went to court.
Cara Rentala.
Cara Rentala.
I know.
4 times, and they finally, convicted her. That could have happened in this case.
I know. I was kind of surprised and kind of expected it that would be the case.
I just, going back and watching these interviews with Karen Reed, that one interview she did with 2020, she says at one point, I didn't even drop him off at the house. I just left him at the bar. And then the narrative changes. Like she moves the goalposts all the time and just different versions of it. But nobody really seems to care about that. I know you're talking about the reasonable doubt piece, but what about her own words that came out of her mouth? She said,
"Sure,
I didn't drop him off." And then later in the same episode, she goes, "Yeah, I did drop him off, and I was mad, so I left."
Well, again, in a drunken stupor, how many times has a night of mischief finally pieced itself together after many, many months of wondering, what did I do that night?
I don't know. It's a pretty interesting. It was a pretty interesting opinion that I don't care if she is guilty.
Yeah,
or not.
girl power.
Girl power.
Okay, sure.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is gonna be, and I'll tell you in 1 second. Hot, hazy, and humid today and tomorrow. Heat advisory in effect until tomorrow night at 8 p.m. High in 95. It is 74 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's Steve Nagle from Rock 102. Now, Friday night high school football is going to be back soon, and you know what that means. T-Mobile's Friday night...
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:49 in Fleetwood Mac. With Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Hot, hazy, and humid. Heat advisory in effect today and tomorrow. 95 for a high. It is 74 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, join Dan Williams and the Rock 102 Road Crew at Free Music Friday. This Friday, 7 to 9 at the Plaza at MGM Springfield. Enjoy live outdoor music featuring your favorite local bands. This week it's going to be yacht rock favorites Below Deck. They're going to take the stage at 7:30. Quench your thirst for refreshing ice-cold beverages from the Plaza Bar or craft beer from White Lion. Plus delicious bites from Guacamole and other stuff from local various food trucks. It's Free Music Friday this Friday with Dan and the Road Crew, part of the Classic Rock Summer on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
What'd you do, bail? I thought it was supposed to be you there.
It was, but I've got some other things that came up, and so Dan is going to do it instead.
Oh, that must be nice. Just forgoing all your obligations that you have to this radio station?
Well, actually, it was supposed to be Pat's, and then they asked you, and you said no, and then they asked me, and then I said yes, but then stuff came up, and they asked Dan, so it's Dan.
Well, who's going to what happens if Dan decides I can't do this?
Then Natalie will do it.
Natalie?
Yeah, Natalie.
Really?
Why not?
Well,
she's capable.
Is she going to drive from Oklahoma to get here?
God, God, please. Stop it. Knock it off.
I was talking yesterday about... Did you have something to say?
No, I had nothing to say.
I was talking yesterday about the TikTok channel with the guy opens the food from like 80 years ago, like the MRE meals or whatever. Chowhound.com has a new list of canned foods that were popular 50 years ago but nobody eats anymore. It's a trip down memory lane.
All right.
And also a little triggering for your gag reflex.
Go on.
Number 1, canned mac and cheese. Chef Boyardee had one. I think they still do.
I think they still do have
I think
that.
I saw it in the store not too long ago. I wouldn't eat that, though.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's not as good as like homemade macaroni and cheese, but it's fine, I'm sure.
SpaghettiOs, the original brand was Franco-American. It's disgusting. I remember when my kids were younger, I was like, I'll buy a can of this, and this will bring me back to childhood, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it's like
your palate changes from when you were a kid, because we talked about this a while back. That the idea of SpaghettiOs or even those little raviolis in a can.
Yeah,
you remember exactly what they taste like, and they taste exactly the same. But now that you're an adult, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it is. It's gross.
But I used to get so excited when a can of SpaghettiOs was entering into the home. Like, I couldn't wait to get the SpaghettiOs.
I used to love the Chef Boyardee beef raviolis.
Yeah.
And those suck now,
those are terrible, but they taste primarily the same.
Do they taste the same, or is the recipe different from 30, 40 years ago?
May very well be, but there is an element that is familiar, but now it's just gross.
Canned whole chicken. The brand Sweet Sue had one.
I've seen that show up at the Mayflower Marathon before and was stunned that a whole chicken could be dropped in a can and still be edible.
That is weird. I don't even remember seeing that.
Yeah, it's not a raw chicken. It's like a pre-cooked chicken.
Canned tamales. Now you can just buy frozen, if not fresh.
I don't usually buy them by the can.
Boiled peanuts. That's a southern thing, though.
Yeah, and I don't like them.
Canned brown bread, primarily in the Northeast.
I remember that.
Campbell's pepper pot soup.
I don't know if I remember that one.
I don't know what that was. Pepper pot soup. Let me see if I can look it up. I don't even see an image of it. Oh, pepper pot. Yeah.
It's just a kind of soup, I guess. I don't know. I don't really remember.
It's got a lot of peppers and potatoes in it. That's what's going on. Canned pork brains with milk gravy.
Ooh.
Thankfully, that is still available on Amazon. Ooh, kids, who wants dinner? What are we having for dinner tonight, Mom? Canned pork brains with milk gravy, my favorite.
Oh, the kids will rush to the table when that's finally served.
We talked about this one, the deviled ham, which was the ground up ham spiced and packed into a can, used primarily to spread on sandwiches. That and the chicken.
They were both
the
gross.
Underwood chicken.
And yet they came in such small cans,
Yes.
which I never really understood.
So do I, but at least it tastes a little bit better. Spam spread. It's no longer available, sadly. That would have been nice, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what that deviled ham stuff tastes like. Old El Paso canned tortillas. They were made with just corn, water, and salt, but let you store tortillas on the shelf. I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
Canned ribs. Armour had one.
Yeah,
and they were specifically, or especially cut to work with the can, then smoked with hickory chips for great flavor.
Boy, that sure does sound like it's good.
For dessert, Libby's Fruit Float. Just add milk and stir. The result was a frothy milkshake-like dessert that was reminiscent of a pudding. Hunt's Pudding Snacks.
Well, I remember those.
Yeah.
Sure.
They might not be as mainstream as they were decades ago, but they're still less wild than the rest of this list. You know what I mean?
The pudding packs. I mean, those are no big deal.
Betty Crocker spoon and bake cookie dough. Each little can had enough to make 3 dozen cookies, and the varieties were chocolate chip, peanut butter, oatmeal, raisin, and sugar cookie. Hey, if you didn't eat all those canned goods during the pandemic, you might as well keep them for the zombie apocalypse.
A buddy of mine from college, who listens to the show, said he has nightmares of his roommate opening up a can of SpaghettiOs with the hot dogs inside, and eating them cold one night, and opening up the can with a butter knife. I remember that.
I ate chicken noodle soup, Campbell's condensed, straight from the can.
Oh yeah, it tasted better that way.
Well, it was all the sodium.
Well, that's what made it taste so good.
I didn't want to bulk up. I wanted to puff up. But the canned pork brains with milk gravy is the most disgusting sounding thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it tastes good.
You know what, Steve? I would love to say let's try it someday, but I'm going to step back and say, why don't you do that in your own time?
Why don't we order a can of it off Amazon and see if we can get that here?
Because under no circumstances do I want to be a part of having pork brains in milk sauce in my mouth.
Listen, we got to produce 12 videos a day here at Rock 102.
Yeah.
One of them could be us eating pork brains with milk gravy.
And the second one would be us with our head in a toilet puking our brains out.
Pork brains with milk gravy. Come on, kids.
It's 7:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I'll be honest with you. If the current chairman of the FCC were to walk through this door right now, several things would happen. One, I would ask to see his credentials, since I wouldn't recognize the FCC chairman if he was wearing a name tag. Secondly, immediately after that conversation, I would likely soil myself and profusely apologize for not recognizing who the hell he is. By the way, the current FCC commissioner is Brendan Carr, and the only reason I know this is because I had to look it up. One thing that I would not do is begin berating him with a barrage of license-threatening profanities or physical threats. I personally think that's a reasonable approach. However, if Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred were to walk through the door, I'd be sure to give him a piece of my mind. And I would do this primarily because he's not in charge of the regulating body that oversees what I do for a living. But if I were a baseball player, I might think differently. Last week, Commissioner Rob Manfred made a random site visit to the Philadelphia Phillies clubhouse to improve the relationship between Major League Baseball and its players. Unfortunately, this effort backfired, especially when Phillies first baseman Bryce Harper told the commissioner that if he were going to go in there and start talking about imposing a salary cap, then he should, quote, get the F out of our clubhouse. Now, if I were to make those same overtures to FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr, it's very likely that the 2,238 days I have before I plan to retire could be greatly accelerated to that very day. But when you're Bryce Harper and you've protected one of the most powerful unions in sports, then I suppose you can tell Rob Manfred to get the F out of your clubhouse. Meanwhile, I would offer the FCC commissioner a cup of coffee, maybe a bag of Doritos from our snack machine. I might even set him up with a Bax and Nagle t-shirt. But one thing I'm not going to do is kick the man out of the building, because I'm a professional without union representation to save me from my own stupid actions. And perhaps that's for the best. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. You know who loves the wild and strong brand habanero bird food? It's the cardinals and the chickadees. They love that stuff. You know who doesn't? Squirrels. Songbirds can't taste the hot pepper, but boys, squirrels sure can. You want to go to Rocky's for the wild and strong bird food, $6 a bag, habanero, and all the other assorted flavors available at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:10 and 38 special with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Heat advisory in effect until tomorrow night. Sunny, hot, hazy, and humid today and tomorrow with a high of 95. It is 74 right now in downtown Springfield.
You know, a while back we did the story about bar advocates here in the state of Massachusetts. There's a work stoppage going on right now because for years they have been grossly underpaid, especially compared to other states around us. And on the phone list to talk about that is attorney Jennifer O'Brien. She is part of the O'Brien Law Offices in Billerica, and she's on the phone list right now. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you?
Good morning. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This situation is really interesting, and the more I'm reading about it, the more I'm starting to begin to understand how poorly bar advocates have been treated in Massachusetts. These lawyers are, court appointed. They are different from, from other designations, but they have not had a raise since 2004, a significant raise in years. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here and why the state has been so slow in bringing bar advocates up to where other people are in other states.
Well, we are, anybody who's seen a Law and Order, any of those shows, when they read you your Miranda rights, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you, and if you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. So that is where we come in. We are the appointed attorneys. We have private practices, and we do this on the side as contract work. We have had raises since 2004, but it's been $15 over 21 years. So that averages out to around 71 cents a year, which is pretty pathetic.
Right.
So year after year, we've been, contacting the legislator. They've known that we're underfunded, and every year we're told, hey, here's $1, or here's $2, or here's nothing. There's nothing in the budget for you. And we've waited and waited and waited patiently. So what we've done is individuals, and we're not a union, so individuals have to make their own decision as to whether or not to keep taking this contract work, but individual attorneys, and it turns out there are hundreds and hundreds of them, have decided not to do this contract work anymore because the pay is just not worth it. So we sent, we've contacted our legislators. We've had, it's been in the press. We've talked to certain senators and representatives and told them that our ask is $35. Just get us to $100, even though the other states are, significantly higher. For instance, Maine is $150 an hour, and we're $65 an hour. So we said, this is the bottom line, just the bare minimum to get us back, to taking cases, and that hasn't happened. And there appears to be no end in sight. So now people do not have attorneys. They're not being appointed attorneys. There's, I think, about 3,500 people in the state now without an attorney. They've implemented this La Valley protocol, which says that if somebody's held for more than 7 days without an attorney, they must be released. And if this person who's out on the street with a case for 45 days, the case will be dismissed. So we're trying desperately to have our voices heard, and the legislature, they know what our ask is, what the bottom reasonable number is, bottom line, and I don't know what to tell you as far as where that's going. But we never have to go back. I think they're kind of talking in the press that we need to go back to work and implying that we're employees, but we're not. We're independent contractors. So if we can do contract work for Maine, that's $150. Why would anybody want to work in Massachusetts? And that's the problem, that the whole system is really coming down because they're not enticing new attorneys, and attorneys that are already on these panels, they're going to other states, but they're doing different types of work to make more money.
This is Attorney Jennifer O'Brien on the phone with us. Jennifer, what is are all of these attorneys private attorneys? Is there any of them that are like employed directly by the state?
There are the ones that are employed by the state. There's 20%. They do about 20% of the work. Those are called their CPCS, or Committee for Public Counsel attorneys. Those are staff attorneys. They get pensions and over vacation time and everything that comes with being a salaried state employee. We do 80% of it, and we're contractors, independent contractors, and we do 80% because it saves the state money. But there comes a point, obviously, when we're not going to be doing this for these types of wages. Nobody has to. We're attorneys. We can go get jobs elsewhere. We just want to be treated on par, fairly with other states, on par with what they're getting.
Now, as far as somebody being released after being, would you say 7 days was the without representation? Is that for violent crimes as well?
Yes, it's for all crimes. So with murder cases, you don't have a statutory right to bail, but all other crimes, you have a right to counsel. You have a right to argue bail, and if the Commonwealth wants to hold you, you have a right to an attorney to argue that. So,
Does that mean charges are dropped, or does that just mean you have to come back to court, but you just don't have a lawyer with you right now?
Well, if you can't be held for more than 7 days, which means you'll be released onto the street. And then if you don't have a lawyer for 45 days, that's
I
when
got
it
you.
starts.
Okay, that's where I was.
Jennifer, the question the question I have is, it seems to be like, you guys are really kind of, your backs are you're really kind of, back as against the wall here, because in order for this to happen, the legislature needs to make a decision. Their legislative session ends in August, so you're talking about just a matter of days here, and there has been literally no movement as far as the legislature is concerned to even have a discussion with bar advocates about this. Tell me about that, and how do you see this thing going after the legislative session ends? Because to me, it looks like you're talking about a potential emergency situation where they have to start addressing this pretty quickly.
Yes, I think they already should have been addressing this. They should have addressed it years ago, but they certainly should have addressed it once they saw that the La Valley protocol was going in. And again, that protocol with the 7 and the 45 days that I was talking about. It's not our obligation as independent contractors to make sure people have a right to counsel. It's their obligation to fund that. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the longer this goes on, I can tell you that my colleagues, they're looking for other work, and some of them have decided to do different types of work or to go to other states. So the longer this goes on, they might find that the bar advocates aren't even available to come back. I don't know what they're doing. They won't have a sit down. I mean, we've definitely talked to a few of the senators and reps. They've been we were very well received. None of them have said, you're overpaid or you don't need a raise. It's just a matter of how to, implement that. But the higher ups, the people who hold the purse strings, they refuse to sit down with us until we go back to work, which is kind of ridiculous.
You mentioned that public defenders cover the remaining 20% of all these cases, and as you said, they are state employees. They're paid differently. Compare it to a bar advocate. I mean, are they getting paid more to do that 20% than the 80% who are bar advocates, or how does that differ?
Yes, well, they have done some research on it and saw the cost of compared the cost of a public defender, who was a staff employee versus a bar advocate or a person who takes bar advocate work, and we're much cheaper. They're not grossly overpaid, that's for sure. But they do have vacation time, maternity leave, pensions. Their office is paid for, their supplies. With us, we pay for that out of pocket. So, we're paid $65 an hour, and once you have an office and malpractice insurance and, health insurance and, you have to do legal research. There's all kinds of expenses that go with it. It's probably about $40 an hour that we're making. And
but with the number of pending cases, I can't imagine that the public defenders here in Massachusetts have the time or the ability to cover all those cases. I mean, it would be like a physical impossibility to provide, a good, legal representation in that situation.
Absolutely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. They can't. So that's why we're in this situation right now. They've picked up, they're at their max pretty much, CPCS, the staff attorneys, because they've been trying to pick up, the more serious crimes. They've been in different courts, but there's only so many cases you can carry. You can't carry 1,000 cases and provide adequate representation for people.
So what you're saying is now's a good time to start shoplifting.
Yes.
Well,
no. That's not good advice.
It's not good advice. Of course, I would advise anyone not to commit a crime ever. You don't want to be in court. It's not a pleasant experience to be in court. But I mean, they really have to act. We have been more than reasonable. I mean, we've given them the heads up. We've sent, letters before this was even happening. Every year, CPCS goes in and says, we're having a hard time getting lawyers to fill these spots. There was an amendment for the $35 an hour that was proposed. That was withdrawn. So we're really, our hands are tied. There's not much we could do, and if they don't fund it, then that's fine. We'll just do other work. We are working our current cases, so we haven't stopped and just walked out on every client that we have. We do have cases from before. We're working those as always, but we're just not going to take new cases until it's funded. So, and if they don't want to fund it, then you might as well get rid of the Constitution, because they do have they're supposed to fund it, and if they don't, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for what the legislature is doing. I wish they had more information, and I wish they had the inside track. But what we're being told is get back to work.
Well, Jennifer, we wish you guys all the best of luck. It would be nice to see that you guys would get paid fairly, like everybody else in New England throughout the Northeast. Again, Jennifer O'Brien from the O'Brien Law offices in Billerica. We appreciate the time today. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. It's 8:22 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:29 of the Foo Fighters with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast. It's the heat index is going to be 105 today.
My stepsister was at my dad's yesterday, and my dad's got a pool, and it's like right in the middle of the sun.
Yeah.
It's like it gets sunlight all day long. And she took a picture of the pool and took a picture of the outdoor thermometer out there. In the sunshine, it was 120 degrees yesterday.
Oh, yeah, like Vegas weather.
Yeah, but Vegas doesn't get that humid either. So it's not just that it's hot. The humidity is killing people. So be careful out there. Don't try to do too much.
Stay inside.
Stay inside.
Stay in the air conditioning.
Hydrate the best you can.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do anything crazy. I feel bad for these guys working on like road details and God.
Okay. Okay. Working with quotation marks around that word.
Stuff is getting done. They're doing things.
They're good.
Standing there with the hot coffees and stuff. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's iced coffee season.
Some of these guys still drinking the hot stuff.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because that's what being a man is all about. Drinking hot coffee in a steaming hot day.
Oh, is that what puts
puts the hair in your chest?
I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah, it puts the hair on your boys,
on your chest. Let's just keep it clean.
I thought it was on your boys. I thought
does that too.
Okay.
So yeah, but don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything I would do or wouldn't do, because the last thing you want is a heat stroke.
It puts parsley on the field, is what I want to say. That's what I was getting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
It allows the hedges to grow.
Yes.
It's 8:30.
A corned beef poobin.
News is next on Rock 102. Here's your 8:35 of Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by the law offices of Marquis Salamone. Injured, tell the insurance company that you mean business. Call 1-800-WIN-WIN-1 right now. Here's local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. A teen driver died in a rollover crash on Greenfield Road in Deerfield Sunday morning. The Northwestern DA's office stated in a news release that police were called to Greenfield Road shortly before noon on Sunday for a rollover crash. The vehicle had reportedly rolled over and struck a fire hydrant. The driver, a 17-year-old boy from Hatfield, died in that crash. The vehicle's passenger was brought to Bay State to be treated and is expected to recover. The name of the victim has not been released at this time. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner will determine the cause of the crash. It's currently being investigated by multiple agencies. Talking about strip clubs. You want to talk about strip clubs?
Do I?
Mm-hmm. A judge will rule on some claims in federal suit made by 30 models and influencers who had their photos posted without permission on Facebook in promotions for a former strip club in Munson, according to documents. The plaintiffs, who are from different states and some European countries, filed the claim last year in U.S. District Court in Springfield, 4 months after the Magic Lantern, known in the lawsuit as the Orange Lantern, closed in December of 2023.
The Orange Lantern?
Yeah.
I don't recall it being the Tragic Lantern, the Magic Latrine, those I've heard, but the Orange Lantern? I've never heard of such a thing.
Never heard of that. It has been in business since the 1960s. The Lantern posted a total of 54 photos of them without their consent and without paying them while promoting the strip club on social media, according to the women's claim. They say they said they earned their living by posting photographs of themselves online. On Thursday, the Maestro filed an order stating that the club's motion for summary judgment, asking the judge to render a decision in the case, will move forward regarding the 45 photographs posted by the club before July 4th of 2016. Claims about the nine of the photographs will not advance, Maestro ruled. All of the other motions for summary judgment filed by the plaintiffs and defendants were denied. So were they using pictures of people who were not performing there? That's what's not clear about this article.
That's what it sounds like.
Huh. Well, that's a little false advertising. No wonder why you went out of business.
No. It had nothing to do with that. I'm sure it had, there were other things. But, I mean, my God, it's like our pictures were never in there. We've influenced plenty of people.
You never been over to the Knocker Locker on Boston Road over there? Huh? Hey, wait a minute.
Isn't that the Munson Ballet?
No, these shaky butts are not the same shaky butts I saw on Facebook. This is false advertising.
Oh, boy.
I never went to amateur night. That would have been...
I never went to amateur night either. I think it was there during hysterectomy night one night. That wasn't nearly what it was cracked up to be.
Who wants some hot, stinky cash?
I've never been to the amateur nights either. My understanding is that the definition of amateur was actually a very loose definition, and that many of the people that participated in amateur night were not, in fact, amateurs.
They were just workers at the Mammary Observatory.
Yes, Steve.
Is that what it was?
I think that's exactly what it was.
Well, I can't say what I want to say.
I know what you want to say, and maybe it's for the best.
Well, I would say pits and grits, but I wasn't saying pits. I want to say something else, but I can't say it.
I know, Steve.
Then I'll get in trouble.
Because you're a classy fella.
No, I'm an assy fella.
Well, Steve.
Anyway, a 17-year-old Springfield resident accused of firing at police inside the Holyoke Mall is facing juvenile charges, but prosecutors say they plan to seek a youthful offender indictment that could move the case to adult court. The teen was under Department of Youth Services supervision at the time of the shooting, in which police returned fire and wounded the suspect. The juvenile was arraigned virtually Monday afternoon in Springfield Juvenile Court because he remains hospitalized. The hearing was closed to the public, and the name was withheld because he is a minor. He will be transferred to the custody of the Hampden County Sheriff's Department even as he remains hospitalized. That's according to Holyoke Police Chief Brian Keenan. Specific charges have not been released by the Hampden DA's office as of 6 p.m. on Monday. Although the Holyoke Police and State Police have beefed up patrols, Keenan said the mall remains a safe place for shoppers. So if you want an Aunt Annie's pretzel or a Mrs. Fields cookie, feel free to do so.
So I shouldn't feel threatened by going into the Build-A-Bear?
No.
What about the Piercing Pagoda?
Listen, the only thing violent going to happen to you as a Build-A-Bear is the tearing up of your wallet when you buy a Build-A-Bear. Sure, the initial bear is only $20, but what about the heart, the lungs, the stuffing, the eyes, the mouth, the nose? Sure. All of that stuff is a la carte.
Right.
Yeah.
I find it hard to imagine that anyone is going to be, threatened physically at the Hobby Lobby.
I don't know. I've been threatened at a Hobby. I've been held hostage at a Hobby Lobby before.
Oh, that I will agree with.
At least in there, I can spell dirty words with those letters that they have hanging up there.
Held hostage, but there's always room for escape.
That is true. Where is the escape route?
The front door.
Yeah, but there's two. Is the front door the one in the mall or the front door the one on the parking lot side?
The one towards either one.
Yeah.
Either one.
The mall reopened to the public on Saturday. On Monday afternoon, the mall was relatively quiet. Shoppers came and went through the arcade entrance. People interviewed by the Republicans said they feel the mall is safe. Of course it's safe.
It's always been safe.
James Sues, director of the asset management for the Pyramid Management Group, the property's owner, said safety is the Holyoke Mall's top priority. So safe that we will not turn on these escalators.
Because someone could trip.
Someone could get hurt on these moving pieces of machinery. We're doing it the old-fashioned way. Walk up the stairs. Yeah, that stairwell that they have in the center of the mall.
Yeah.
That's, like, very inconvenient. I never understood, and it's not just the Holyoke Mall. It's all of these malls that when they built those, like, multi-level food courts and all that stuff, food court, then the 2 levels of the mall, or no matter what mall you're in that has that those levels, why is there only 1 elevator? Why wouldn't there be, like, 4 elevators? Because
that's a very good question. I don't know. My guess is it's cheaper to install stairs and an escalator than it is to add extra elevators.
I'm sure it's cheaper, but
I'm sure that's probably the primary reason.
It's wildly inconvenient. Walk up that narrow staircase all the way. You want to go from the food court to Target. You got to go all the way up those stairs.
I get news for you. Most of the people that are eating at the food court are not walking back up the stairs.
They're not?
Many of them can't.
Well, that's from all the sodium from the
I've had 15 pieces of pizza at Sbarro. I can barely feel my legs.
Is there still a Sbarro there? I haven't been to that food court in a long time.
I don't even know.
Sbarro is a hidden gem.
Yes, best hidden, I think.
Where else can you get spaghetti in an airport?
I've had 4 Cinnabons. I can't feel my hands.
Actually, I miss the Cinnabons.
They're delicious.
Just the smell alone. It's not even about eating the cinnamon bun. It's about the smell that the Cinnabon used to make.
Well, they're still there. They're still there, according to the Holyoke Mall website, and I'm looking at it right now. Cinnabon is still there.
Well, just like we were talking yesterday, what was the Carvel's? Carvel's are still there.
Yeah.
Vernon's got Carvel.
How'd they get so lucky?
I don't know, but I guess there is Vernon like a. I've never really been there. I think I did a comedy show at the Elks Club there years ago.
If it's not in Vernon, you don't want it. Everything's in Vernon.
That's what I'm saying. This sounds like this hotbed of local eateries.
It is exploding with activity in Vernon.
You think so?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to have to take a trip to Vernon.
You know what? Let's get a bus.
Oh, we said that yesterday. We'd get the Peter Pan bus, and we'll take a trip to
Vernon. We'll do 2 bus trips.
A man in Florida named Jason Hughes has been arrested after he assaulted a golfer on a golf course because he was playing too slow.
Oh, did you see the video of this?
Yes. It's pretty wild.
It's crazy.
Jason told the man several times to pick up the pace, and then he lost it when the other man started talking to his friend while ahead on the green. He approached the guy, attacked him, repeatedly punched him in the face. The players' partners separated them, and the attacker and his partner sped off in their golf cart before the police arrived. The victim was hospitalized and treated for a broken bone beneath his eye socket, and he had to get stitches on his cheek. Jason was tracked down and charged with aggravated battery causing bodily harm. He was released on bond in one condition: he can't play golf.
See, to me, the guy that was hit was totally at fault. One, he's slowing down. I don't know if you saw this part of the video. So the guy that's hitting him, because he's being belligerent. The guy that actually winds up hitting him, every time he punches, he keeps saying "bam." So it's like he's physically saying "bam" every time he punches. Like "bam, bam, bam, bam."
Is the emerald of the golf course?
That's exactly what happened. Now the guy who's mouthing off, one, he's loaded.
Yeah.
He gets pushed And he gets back up. He wants to fight this guy. Now, clearly, he has no business fighting this other guy. And even after being knocked down and thrown into the water, thrown into the drink, he keeps coming back like he's got a chance at this guy. It's a crazy video.
Well,
absolutely crazy.
You shouldn't be playing too slow.
You shouldn't be playing too drunk either, but that doesn't stop people from doing it.
Well, but isn't that part of the game?
It is part of the fun, I will say, but really.
It's like those people at the campgrounds. Camping and drinking are sports.
Yes.
Golfing and drinking are sports.
That is true.
Should they be mixed together, though?
I don't always find that it's a good mix.
Yeah, well, that's you, I guess.
That's me.
Your Pioneer Valley forecast today going to be hot, hazy, and humid. A heat advisory is in effect. The heat index could reach 105 today, so just stay cool. High of 95 today, and tomorrow it's 77 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:55, and Don Henley with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be steamy out there.
Yes.
105 for the heat index.
Oh, God, it's awful.
Damn, that sounds soupy. I like when the weather's soupy.
I don't care for that at all.
You don't like soupy weather?
No,
Oh.
I do not. Hey, it's a Shop Tuesday here on Rock 102. This morning at 9 o'clock, if you go to rock102.com, you can save 30% off to Fishtails Bar and Grill in Hatfield. You'll find what they're craving at Fishtails: stuffed haddock, scallops, pan-seared, herbed, butter, salmon, and swordfish tips, fish and chips, and daily specials, including 12 to 4 on Fridays and Saturdays. That's 9 o'clock this morning on the Shop 30 store at rock102.com. Do not miss out. 30% off Fishtails Bar and Grill in Hatfield.
Do you have a summer persona?
No. It's pretty much the same persona as it always is.
Well, if you had to identify your summer persona, what would it be? Like, are you the grilling purist, the over-prepared pool husband? Are you the too chill to function?
That's the
Too
one.
chill to
Way
function?
too chill to function.
According to a new survey,
Jeez, I'm not ready for this.
74% of Gen Z and millennial women have a summer vibe they're chasing this year. And most popular ones are 22% they're grandma core gals who enjoy cozy, vintage-inspired simplicity. They think indulgent and comforting food flavors best reflect their vibe and like their hearty meals like barbecue, seafood boils, and iced tea.
Okay.
20% say they are coastal cowgirls who love mixing beachy vibes with Western rustic elements.
Ugh.
They treat themselves to summery drinks, love pool days, and host the most gatherings themed around their aesthetic. Country music.
Why does this sound like remarkably pretentious?
It is pretentious. All it is are these photos of these, hot girl summer.
Oh,
Let's go. 17% say they are Pilates princesses who gravitate towards wellness and daily routines. They are most likely to plan their outfits to match their aesthetic, read the most books, exercise the most, and are most likely to opt for clean, wellness-focused options like green smoothies and what is matcha?
Matcha. It's like a green tea powder that's used in other drinks.
Isn't that a song by the Village People?
No, that's Macho Man.
It's not Matcha Man?
No, that would be a guy that drinks too much tea.
14% say they are tomato girls who embrace a romantic aesthetic and all things Mediterranean inspired. They are the most likely to always photograph and post their food and drink pics on social media and prefer bright, juicy, and fresh flavors.
Why do all of these women sound like horrible people to hang out with?
Why are they using the word juicy?
I don't know. You can have a dried tomato.
Do you like things that are juicy?
I like meaty tomatoes. Something with got a lot of meat on
Like
it.
a beefsteak tomato.
Yeah, beefsteak.
Not juicy.
I don't want it juicy. It doesn't seem like it's finished yet.
There are only certain things that can be labeled as juicy.
Yes, and not all of them you want on a plate.
These titles and descriptions were provided. The women didn't just come up with these categories on their own. but somebody did.
Yeah, and it's pretentious.
Yeah, I don't have a summer persona.
Listen, my wife teaches all year long. When summer hits, she doesn't want to deal with anybody except maybe me and maybe somebody at a restaurant, and that's about it. We are aggressively relaxing during our summertime.
I have a taxi persona.
Yeah.
Just driving teenagers around all day long, every day. That's my summer persona.
Yeah, but you'll get beyond that, and then you'll have to come up with some other path.
It's a Uber summer.
Yes. There you go.
Goober. I'm Goober.
That's
Goober the Uber.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, there you go.
It's 8:59 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Boy, some chick.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 9/11 and Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be hot, hazy, and humid today with a heat index of 105. Yummy. 95 for a high temp. It is 77 in downtown Springfield. I'd say you'd be ready for fun facts, but we've killed it. We killed the bit. That's it. It's done. It's over with.
We got nothing to show for it.
We got nothing to show for it, and it's over with. And all the people out there who didn't want it, they should be happy. They should be content.
They won.
And you know what? Did they win?
I don't know. Well, I don't know if they won, but it is what it is. Hey, Dan Williams and the Rock 102 Road Crew are going to be doing Free Music Friday this Friday between 7 and 9 at the Plaza at MGM Springfield. Yacht Rock favorites Below Deck is the band this week. They'll be taking the stage at 7:30. Be refreshing beverages on hand at the Plaza Bar, craft beer from White Lion. Guac This Way will be there along with some other local food trucks. It's Free Music Friday this Friday at MGM with Dan and the Road Crew from Rock 102 Springfield's Classic Rock.
How about we bring back Now Hear This? Why don't?
Yeah,
why
sure.
don't we do it? No, you got to hear this.
Okay.
This thing.
Right.
What is this? Where is it? I had it, and now I don't know where it is.
Yeah.
It was. You like that song Jolene
By Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Sure.
This was. Let's see. Now I can't find it. Monster truck man arrested fentanyl. It was. If Jolene was done by Black Sabbath,
That sounds cool.
Is awesome.
Of course.
Why can't I? I can't seem to find them. Let me just give me 1 second. This is much more entertaining than the fun facts.
I'm sure it is.
Let's see.
Okay. Jolene Black Sabbath.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. I'm ready.
All right,
Yes.
ready?
Okay. All right.
Here's the clip. Here's
Yes,
the clip.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, rock on.
Yeah, it kicks ass.
Kick it ass. Rock 102.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Here's the new Jolene by Black Sabbath. Yeah. Wow. See?
That's pretty good.
Isn't this so much better than sexual euphemisms
Oh,
out of a fun fact program?
Well, that's why we have Hollywood Trash.
This is why we're so successful.
It's Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.